The fine line between equality, inequality and inequity. Many share the belief that equality is defined as fairness, equal, justice, in this world is but a dream or a distant ideal. Yet, despite appearances, equality is not a simple fantasy or mysterious notion, but a truth that exists in the present moment. The notion of equality, defined as fairness, equal, justice, has been preached by the greatest minds throughout history, yet its roots extend far beyond human understanding. In the face of conflicting theories and ideologies, the divine truth of equality remains steadfast, unwavering in its reality. Inquiring minds ask, where does equality, fairness, equal, justice, reside between the prosperous and the destitute? The unlearned and the educated? The ignorant and the wise? The average and the exceptional? The follower and the boss? The public and the principal? The saint and the sinner? Man and angel? All these entities share a common ground, forming an unbreakable chain that reaches towards the divine throne. Despite the misguided belief in the unequal or inferior nature of certain links, or people, in this chain, no one has been able to provide substantial evidence beyond self-centeredness and ignorance. The illusion of inequity, defined as injustice, discrimination, intolerance, often comes from a confusion with inequality, defined as unfairness, prejudice, bias, two concepts as distant as justice and injustice. While individuals may have unequal opportunities for sustenance, education, culture, and well-being, inequity does not necessitate inequality, defined as unfairness, prejudice, bias. Nature's law of equality, similar to balance, cannot be disrupted or dismantled by human actions or inventions, even as selfish motives may momentarily obstruct justice. From where do the great differences among mankind come, the vast differences in ability, intelligence, and morality? The answer lies in the age of the soul. Mankind exists on various levels of life's evolutionary ladder, each showing different degrees of growth and development. No matter where they are, whether on Earth or beyond, all people will never be at the same level in terms of mental, moral, and spiritual advancement. Many believe that the fall of man was a one-time event that affected everyone. However, souls are continuously transitioning into materiality, imperfection, and mistakes. Through a series of journeys, they eventually arrive on Earth and occupy the physical bodies they have attracted. While evolution is widely accepted, the concept of involution is often met with skepticism. Yet, there can be no evolution without involution. Souls must go through a process of inner development before they can progress outwardly. Nature treats all mankind equally but uniquely, with differences arising from their journey into their physical birth. At the time of their arrival on Earth, souls already possess distinct personalities, traits, talents, and preferences. There are vast differences in their moral, mental, and spiritual growth. Each person is gifted with the potential for growth and development, although not necessarily at the same pace. Human nature is consistent, ensuring that no two individuals will ever be exactly alike. In the area of evolution, diversity reigns among the enlightened, while uniformity prevails among those who have yet to develop. As a person progresses, they become increasingly distinct from the crowd, their unique qualities and traits shining through until they achieve perfection and reunite with the spiritual. This unity does not erase their individuality, but rather merges their consciousness and abilities with the heavenly spirit. However, the differences among individuals are not solely based on soul age, but also on their own choices and actions. Some choose to linger and avoid responsibility, while others are diligent and ambitious, striving for growth and progress. In the next phase of existence, these differences will become even more pronounced, showcasing the impact of one's choices and efforts on their evolution. In the area of higher thinking, the illusions of inequality, defined as unfairness, prejudice, bias, and inferiority that plague young minds fades away. Instead, humility reigns supreme over arrogance. Those who have reached great moral and spiritual heights understand the foolishness of viewing their fellow beings as lesser beings. They offer a helping hand to those below them, just as they themselves have received aid from those above. There is always a greater height to reach, a higher peak to climb. No one has reached the end of their journey in evolution, we are all connected to a larger whole. The saint may have started as a sinner, and the heartless may one day become a wise philosopher. Evolution is an ongoing process, never truly finished. The world is plagued by the cruel consequences of ignorance and injustice, leading to widespread suffering and despair. Poverty, hunger, and anguish have become the daily reality for millions, as the relentless pursuit of wealth and power drives a vicious cycle of exploitation and greed. In this era of moral decay and deception, humanity has lost its way, yielding to the attraction of material gain at the expense of compassion and understanding. The sanctity of life is disregarded, as violence and oppression reign unchecked, perpetuated by the merciless few who prioritize profit over decency. Yet, in the middle of this darkness, there are still those who question the status quo, challenging the oppressive systems that perpetuate inequality, unfairness, prejudice, bias, and misery. Why must we continue to uphold institutions that perpetuate suffering, when we have the power to dismantle them at their root? Can we not strive for a world where all are treated with dignity and respect, regardless of their station in life? Enlightened and reflective individuals understand the root cause of our overflowing prisons, poor houses, and insane asylums. They recognize that until society is driven by motives beyond selfish profit, these issues will continue. A civilization that compares a person's worth with the contents of their wallet is fundamentally flawed. We cannot achieve an ideal society or a better world until humanity is guided by love for one another rather than by selfishness and greed. Just as the laws of nature are fair and impartial, so too should be the actions of mankind. The initial step towards this goal was political equality, which is justice, fairness. Now we must strive for economic equality, which is also justice, fairness. Many are beginning to question the belief that the world and its resources were created for the benefit of a select few, instead of being shared equally by all. In the emerging new era, one's worth will not be measured solely by wealth, but by the service they provide and the positive impact they have on others. Greatness will be defined by contributions to the advancement of civilization. Cooperation will reign supreme over competition. The cold desire to outshine others only exists in the world of material possessions here on earth. When it comes to spiritual matters and serving humanity, there is no need for competition. Motivated by a deep soul yearning, individuals work in harmony. However, when it comes to money and physical belongings, a different story unfolds. When two individuals lust after the same riches, it can lead to drastic actions, even leading to harm or death. The world's most magnificent creations in literature, art, science, and music were not born from competition, but from a love for the craft or a desire to benefit others. Great minds were driven by passion, not by the accumulation of wealth. Some died in poverty, yet their legacies live on. Those who are remembered for their greed and desire for wealth are not admired, but rather felt sorry for and scorned. In the grand scheme of life, death serves as the ultimate equalizer, revealing the truth that all individuals are judged based on their true worth and the contributions they made during their time on earth. Regardless of status, wealth, or power, every soul stands before the same heavenly court of justice, where material possessions hold no value and only spiritual wealth gains entrance into the kingdom of God. Equality, justice, fairness, much like other natural laws, remains unwavering and universal. Peace,